Good evening to you. It is the 20th day of November 2024. Thank you very much for choosing to watch the Uganda Catholic Television. I'm Sunday Gloria Aboch with Uctv News. The board chairperson of the Uganda AIDS Commission, Dr. Ruth Senyonyi, has called on Ugandans to strengthen efforts in combating HIV. According to the 2023 HIV/AIDS report, 1.49 million Ugandans are living with the virus, with 1.35 million receiving treatment. Dr. Senyonyi made the appeal ahead of the World AIDS Day, which will be commemorated on December 1st, 2024 at Bukungu Primary School in Bukungu Town Council, Buyende District, under the theme Accelerating Interventions to End the HIV/AIDS as a Public Threat by 2030.
Briefing of the World AIDS Day 2024. On Sunday, 1st December 2024, Uganda will join the rest of the international community to commemorate the World AIDS Day. The event will be held in Buyende District, as you have heard, and I'm getting more and more excited about this. We said bad data, but he informed us, and will be presided over by His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda. We mark 36 years since we commemorated the first World AIDS Day. World AIDS Day is an international day dedicated to raising awareness about the HIV and AIDS pandemic caused by the spread of the HIV virus that is mostly transmitted through unprotected sexual contact, HIV-positive blood, and from HIV-positive vertical transmission from mother to child. World AIDS Day gives us many opportunities. One of them is that we remember to stand in solidarity with all those that have succumbed to the scourge, all the families and individuals that have been affected in one way or another by HIV and AIDS. However, World AIDS Day also gives us an opportunity for us to make what we call a SWOT analysis. We find what are our strengths, what are our weaknesses, opportunities and threats as we respond to eliminate the epidemic. At the start of the scourge, as you heard the Director General say, the HIV prevalence was in double digits, estimated to be 18% among the general population. Similarly, AIDS-related deaths were high because having HIV was a death sentence then. Today, thanks to innovation, science and technology, we have made great strides, which have improved our knowledge of how to manage the HIV virus. We now have rapid HIV testing kits to identify the disease early. We have drugs to prevent exposed HIV-negative people from acquiring HIV. And we also have lifelong treatment for those already infected with the HIV virus. So HIV is no longer a death sentence.
The Minister of State for Trade, Industry and Cooperatives, David Bahati, has highlighted the growing momentum of Uganda's economy driven by the industrial sector, which now boasts over 8,000 factories. Addressing media at the Uganda Media Center ahead of the Africa Industrialization commemorations from December 9th to 13th, Bahati noted that the sector contributes 27.4% to GDP, with manufacturing alone accounting for 16.5%.
Uganda now has established sufficient capacity to produce essential products to meet the domestic demand for exports. Some of the products produced locally through the efforts of His Excellency the President and the NRM government include dairy and dairy products, leather products, pharmaceuticals, drugs, textiles, tiles, transformers, TVs, electricity meters, cables, industrial refined sugar. This sugar used to be imported to support factories like Pepsi, like Coca-Cola. But as we speak now, we are doing the industrial sugar ourselves in the country. by some of the companies like Nyala. We're also doing starch and automobile like Kira Motors, among others. So to brief you again, the industrial sector is now contributing 27.4% to our GDP. And the manufacturing alone, which is a subsector of the industrial sector, contributes 16.5% to GDP. And also, we contributed a few years ago, the current figures, we are above 7 trillion now towards the collection of Uganda Revenue Authority. The sector employs 1.5 million people and pays over 30% of our total taxes collected by URA, as I've mentioned. The manufactured value added export has now increased to over 13% of our total exports. Our production of sugar is now at 600 million metric tons. The milk production now stands at 5.3 billion liters. The current production is now 6.4 million metric tons. The annual production of steel products is at 61,000 metric tons. And as you know, still we have been importing steel worth 1 billion as a country, but also we, as a region, East African region, around 3 billion and 6 billion for the continent.
Now, Uganda is set to host the 2024 Ateker Reunion Cultural Festival, an annual event celebrating the heritage of Ateker-speaking communities across Ethiopia, South Sudan, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania, scheduled for November 27 in Soroti City. The Minister for Gender, Labor and Social Development, Betty Amongi, highlighted the event's significance in fostering unity and cultural exchange.
The word comes from, the Ateker word comes from the original word called care. Care meant fear and respect. This is a group that culturally keeps a lot of cows, majorly nomadic, and the word care was that you really needed to fear them. But now we are changing from fear and respect to the fact that we will move to socio-economic transformation with those abundant resources and the tradition of keeping cows. The festival will be a reunion of the people who originate from the Ateker. And these communities that share cultural ties will celebrate and strengthen their bonds. The members include Nyangatoma of Ethiopia. They are going to be here in full force. Toposa, Bari, and Torit of South Sudan. Already the delegation of South Sudan with their governors and others have already confirmed. The Iteso, Turkana, and Masai of Kenya. The Turkana and the Topoth have actually told us they will be from Kenya, about 1,500 people that will be coming. In Uganda, we have the people deriving their origin from Ateker as Iteso, Karamojong, Jie, Dodov, Kumam, Langi, and Kakwa. And in Tanzania, we have the Maasai and other closely knit groups spread across the greater East African region. The theme for this celebration is celebrating shared heritage, forging a path towards peace, prosperity, and cultural renaissance. The overall objective of this is to foster our regional integration with the very key objectives being, number one, to promote peace and unity through dialogue. So we are going to have dialogue that will be held in Soroti University. where we shall discuss how do we resolve. As you are aware, Kenyan side and Karamoja side, there are sometimes conflict arising out of having small arms and light weapons. As the people who are together, we want to discuss how do we coexist. We also want to promote economic opportunities through networks of our Ateker. As shared community, there is need to promote the economic strategy and opportunities that we can harness among each other. We also want to celebrate the rich culture. I'm sure you know the role culture now plays in our economy. About 0.3% of our GDP is contributed through culture. His Excellency the President has already invited the presidents of Kenya, the presidents of Ethiopia, South Sudan, Tanzania, and we have had confirmation of these delegations coming to Uganda. They have also extended invitation to Cuba, and I can confirm that the Vice President of Cuba will be with us. Russia is going to be with us. They will send a delegation. Turkey will also send a delegation. They have already confirmed their delegation that will be joining us. South Africa is sending a delegation led by the Zulu King.
We are going to take a break and we'll return with more stories.
Uctv, good news for all.
Radio Patches, the best value-based community radio in Eastern Africa, running 24/7 with professional staff and solar energy backup of up to 500 kilowatts peak. We rock the whole of northern Uganda and the world using 7 languages on 90.9 FM and 94.5 FM in Arua on Ediofe Hill, 99.7 FM at Moyo on Adua Hill, 101.4 FM at Fogod in Gulu, and online at www.radiopatches.org or download the Radio Patches app from Google Play Store and Apple Store. Radio Patches, peace of Christ for all.
Welcome back. You're watching UCTV News that continues with the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, MIFE, has refuted allegations that farming enterprises under the Uganda Climate Smart Agricultural Transformation Project are being forced on sub-regions without consulting local leaders and beneficiaries. During the ongoing stakeholders engagement meeting held at Munyonyo Commonwealth Hotel today, RDCs accused the Ministry of unfairly selecting and allocating farming enterprises to different sub-regions without consulting the beneficiaries, something which may undermine the success of the multi-billion agro-transformation project.
The Minister of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, Frank Tumwebaze, launched the Uganda Climate Smart Agriculture Transformation Project yesterday, kicking off a 3-day stakeholders meeting.
Move faster, let the procurements move faster, because when they take long.
The meeting aims to orient and debrief district leaders from the benefiting districts about the project's implementation strategies. However, some district leaders expressed concerns that the selected farming enterprises do not align with their regional interests, which could undermine the project's success.
I want to request that when it comes to selection of the enterprises, the district production officers should be involved so that they guide in the selection of the enterprises.
To ask the opinion of the people of West Nile, especially the leaders and community, so that we tell you exactly what we want, but not imposing mango and what? And soya bean on us. When did you see in the world soya bean has eradicated poverty?
So for us, we are still insisting Navy must be considered, Navy and Zombo must be considered for coffee farming, not mangoes.
It is upon this ground that the LC5 chairperson for Nebi District, Emmanuel Orombi, demanded that the ministry should correct this by interchanging or allowing regions to carry on with the farming enterprises of their interests to enhance a smooth implementation of the project.
But there is one controversy in the area of crop and on crops, particularly the selection of mangoes for West Nile and particularly Nebi. We have not been interested in mangoes, and even during Operation Wealth Creation and NADS, our people actually have been picking mangoes and citrus fruits, seedlings, but you will find them abandoned at the sub-county headquarters. It has never been our choices because for us we believe in Nebi mangoes grow naturally and they are not for enterprises or for agribusinesses. It is just for home consumptions. And even if you look at the factories, not there, where will you sell this? But even if they choose to market for us, we are saying you don't enforce something on us. This looks like imposing it on us.
Nevertheless, Dr. Patience Ramegisa, the Assistant Commissioner of Agriculture Extension Coordination, proposed swapping the existing farming enterprises instead of letting districts introduce new ones, which could compromise their project's success.
Let us really try our best to see how do we avoid things that are going to further delay us. We can be flexible in terms of interchanging probably enterprises, but not to introduce new ones. Introducing new ones is going to be difficult because we have done all the necessary calculations to make sure that these are the enterprises the project should support.
The Uganda Climate Smart Agriculture Transformation Project is a 6-year project worth $325 million and is set to be completed by 2028. With only 4 years left since its approval by the World Bank in December 2022, time is of the essence and the swift implementation must be crucial. Joseph Kabale, Uctv News.
Now let's take a look at Today in History. And finally, that makes it a wrap for the Wednesday edition of UCTV News. I'm Sunday Gloria Aboch. Good evening and good night.